So, what are some of the big examples of the small business issues that you've seen,
I'm
and
gonna,
that kind of got you started and like really excited about everything?
yes. Let me give the biggest things that come up that are, to me, the most interesting. We are seeing an epidemic in the US right now of great small businesses being run by people who are close to the end of their careers or sometimes the end of their lives. And they don't know what's going to happen to the small business because the kids don't want to take over, the employees don't want to take over, and they just don't they don't even realize that they could be selling their business on the open market and actually making a ton of money either for them or for their estate. So I really try to reach those people, businesses that are at a late stage of the current management or the current founder's tenure, and I really want to represent those businesses in M&A transactions to the new owners. What I hate to see in those situations, and it happens all the time, is they just dissolve the business. And it's such a loss of value. It's a loss of often employee relationships, client relationships. And to really understand the lost value, even if it's an unprofitable business, think about what it would be like to enter that industry as a new person, and think about how much you would value it if you could just snap your fingers and it's like, oh, here's the first 5 employees and the first 50 clients. Now let me just get started from here. It's like a built-in infrastructure. It takes founders so long to build infrastructure, and it takes so much money too. And it's just a waste because, like, to use an analogy, imagine you were just building up buildings and then tearing them down to build up a new building that's not necessarily that much of an improvement. So, like in real estate, we would never let that happen, but in the small business economy, we let it happen all the time. So, yeah, I'm very active in small business M&A, small business succession planning. Another big area, this is booming right now. Everybody's doing this. The 50-50 partnerships. Me and my friend, me and my cousin, oftentimes me and my partner. So it's a your partner's your partner kind of situation. So
Yeah,
this
this is
is
the Alex Layla Ramosi type vibe. Yeah.
yeah, this happened. Everyone's doing it, and we need, as a lawyer, I think it's great, and that they definitely should be doing that. But we need to have some things in writing, to say the least, because there's a lot of governance problems with 50-50. Because imagine the company gets big, you have to start making key decisions. There's a deadlock and there's no procedure for resolving the deadlock. Companies get ruined. So this is similar to my first example with the people retiring. It's another example of how good companies get ruined for no reason, and it sucks for society because the legal planning is not in order. So the 50-50 partnerships, you've got to get yourself an operating agreement, and there's 2 big types of provisions we need to see in that operating agreement. Number 1, tiebreaker provisions. Who's breaking the tie? There's lots of ways we can slice this. Maybe one partner breaks the tie for certain areas, and the other partner breaks the tie in other areas. Or just one partner breaks all the ties. Or you have a third party. Some people say, oh, let's just do mediation. That's great. But mediation is not going to lead to a decision. It's just supposed to help you resolve things. So I'm happy with mediation, but I like to go a step further and give someone the nuclear option. I find that promotes negotiation and consensus building. The second thing you need in the operating agreement, if you're doing a 50-50 partnership, is a buyout clause. So even if the tiebreaker stuff fails, or sometimes someone breaks a tie and now they hate each other even more, they just need to separate. So the buyout clause will allow for separation, and it will create a procedure where the price is set according to some sort of formula that's predetermined in the contract. Of course, the parties can always just agree to a buyout, but oftentimes they cannot agree on the valuation of the company and the terms of the buyout. So the prepackaged buyout, and there's ways to make it fair so that it's not like too high or too low of a price within reason. We can control that, but there's got to be some mechanism for a buyout in addition to the tiebreaker provisions. With those two double layers of protection, I'm fairly confident that we can make 50-50 partnerships work. But yes, that's been a huge practice area for us. And